Another King Eagle took flight for the flag, making history as the only collegiate player to join Gilas Pilipinas in the recently concluded FIBA World Cup Qualifiers. Ateneo standout Thirdy Ravena played for the national men's basketball team in their last two games against Qatar and Kazakhstan. Ravena made his debut, Gilas' debut in Doha Friday, coming off the bench in the first quarter against Qatar. Gilas won both their matches in the Middle East to make their way back to the World Cup happening in China later this year. And we now have in the studio the Brody himself, one and only Thirdy Ravena, King Eagle. Kaka-award lang sa PSA, now part of Gilas. Ano pa bang gusto mong sabihin ko sa introduction? Good morning, Thirds. Welcome back to the show.
Tito Andre, thanks for having me again on your show.
Pwede ba kuya na lang? First of all, congratulations to you. Let's start with the whole Gilas Pilipinas experience. Because Gilas is back now in the World Cup, right? On the world stage. Now, from getting the call-up, ikwento mo sa amin yung experience. I want you to really tell us the whole experience. How did you find out that you're part of this lineup, Gilas Pilipinas? You'll be traveling with a team. Tell us this whole thing, Thirdy. How did it start? And kailan mo nalaman?
Well, it started nung nasa Cebu ako. We had a Chooks event. And nung nandun si Tito Butch, who's the manager of
Butch
Gilas.
Antonio, yes.
Yeah, and sinabi niya sa akin na actually pinag-iisipan nila ko, ilalagay nila ako sa training pool for Gilas. And then, when we got back to Manila, doon parang sinabi sa akin ni Father Nemi, our chaplain sa team, na they were asking if I could be part of the training pool. And there were some complications with the academic calendar because I'm gonna miss
That's
a lot
why they were asking Father Nemesio of Ateneo if they could, di ba, with the schedule, kasi I think yung ongoing ang school, baka may exams, para walang maapakan sa academics, okay?
Because the main concern was not missing out school.
Of course.
So, back and forth yung communication, and eventually, pinayagan ako ni Father Nemi, Tita Debbie, and the entire coaching staff rin naman may go signal. So, I was part of the training pool, and then we started training. And then, eventually, sinabi na nila, kakailanganin naman yung passport mo. And sinabi ko, makakasama po ba talaga ako? And sinabi, yeah, masama ka sa amin sa Qatar and Kazakhstan. So, talagang...
You couldn't believe it at first?
Yeah.
Hindi makapaniwala?
Sobrang hirap.
Ako, we found out when we were talking to Coach Chieng on the phone, and sinabi niya, we're gonna put him there. He's probably gonna guard one of the best players of the other team. So parang kami, is Coach Chieng saying he's gonna put Thirdy Ravena in the lineup? Kinalabutan ka ba when you saw the Gilas Pilipinas jersey? What was going through your head? Ano yung thoughts mo na, oh my, I'm still in the UAAP and I'm part of Gilas Pilipinas?
Well, I guess that fact alone was already enough to really give me the biggest goosebumps. But once we were preparing na for the games, hindi na ako pwedeng, kumbaga, mag-stay dun sa state ng being overwhelmed with everything that's happening. I needed to focus, and I needed to make sure na I got the job done, whether it be in training or in the game. So there was no time for me to basically just be mesmerized with everything that's happening around me. But for a quick while siguro, talagang namangha ako, especially in the first practice. Nung nakita ko na sila lahat nung magkakasama doon, tapos ako...
Kanino ka pinaka-starstruck doon?
Sa kanila lahat eh.
Sa kanila lahat. Nung nakita mo, Junmar, Only...
Just the fact na...
Jason.
They were all together. I mean, everyone knows them, and everyone knows na most of them have represented the country since 2013, diba? Nung nag-qualify sila for Spain. So, just that fact alone, binigyan na ako ng kabano nung practice na sinabi ko,
of course.
Wag dapat ako magkamali dito. Lahat sila dito, kumbaga veterans na eh. So, I had to make sure na I was able to do the job the right way.
Thirds, you made your official debut against Qatar. You came off the bench, 2:25 left in the first quarter. Talk about that moment. May gigil ba? What was in your mind when you finally stepped on the court? Na, okay, I'm stepping in with the big boys in an actual FIBA qualifying game for the World Cup.
Well, siguro nung sa start, medyo mas relaxed ako nun. Actually, mas nanggigil ako nung second stint ko, the second time na pinasok ako ni Coach Chieng in that first game. And nung nakita ko na Actually, nakalaro na ako. Parang doon ako mas nanggigil eh. Ewan ko kung bakit, pero...
Baliktad. Hindi yung kailangan mo mag-init muna.
Yeah, nung first, actually, mas relaxed ako.
Okay.
So, baliktad siya. Nung second, parang doon ako
Bakit?
nanggigil. I don't know. It's probably...
Were you always like that? Even like in the past, in the UAP? Nung habang tumatagal, mas lalo kang...
No naman. Actually, when I started, nung rookie years ko, nung... first and second year kasi UAP, doon ako medyo kinabahan. But siguro yun nga, it's the first game jitters with the big boys. So it's just, I think, a feeling na kailangan ko matutunan in order for me to learn from it and to not have it again the next game.
Talk about that block that went viral on social media. Tinawagan ng foul, but I think we all believe malinis yun. So let's talk about that huge block that you had, Thirdy. What was going through your head when you were going for that block on that Qatari player?
Well, I mean, they called a foul on it, so no matter what you say or what you do, like, it's still gonna be a foul. But in that situation, kasi talagang nakita ko na I saw it in his face na he wanted to dunk it. And probably siguro hindi niya pa ako nakita before because no one knows me there.
Yeah.
So siguro inisip niya na...
Where did this kid come from?
Yeah, bata lang. Kasi he was the guy that dunked on... I forgot who he dunked on, but in the last window here, he was able to dunk. So I recognized his face. I knew him, even in the scouting reports. So I took it as a challenge na talagang hinintay ko siya nung naka-fast break sila.
Kinakalma ka pa kahit nila Scotty eh. Your head coach... of course, Yeng Yao has a lot of history with the Ravena family, diba? Even with your dad, Bong Ravs in the PBA. Eventually, of course, he wanted Kiefer. He drafted Manong for NLEX. Now it's your turn. What's it like playing for Coach Yeng? Knowing that your dad, of course, may history then with Coach Yeng, your brother, Manong Kiefer?
Well, I think when I was actually there, when we were able to play, was when I realized na tama nga yung sinasabi ng mga tao na sarap maglaro for Coach Yeng. Just that instance alone, nung nagpa-technical foul siya, I think both technicals was caused by an incident, including me.
Yeah.
So that unsportsmanlike one and the non-call was the reason, were the reasons why. And yung fact na pinaglalaban ka niya, na player ka niya, kahit yun nga, rookie ako, bago ako dun sa Gilas, pero pinaglalaban niya pa rin ako. Talagang binigyan ako ng kumbaga confidence and motivation and another inspiration
Nasalo
for
kita.
me. Na just that fact na alam kong Coach Yeng has my back. Parang gusto ko ibigay talaga lahat for him and of course my teammates and the entire team in the country.
Thirds, the World Cup will take place from August to September and it may coincide. Ito yung concern with the UAAP. Diba? Magsasabay yan eh. We know that's your final playing year for Ateneo. Of course, you're the defending champions. You're gunning for that three-peat. But should you get that call-up again, once, hypothetically, di ba? Posibleng mangyari to eh. You're in the middle of the UAP. Sabay tawagan, Thirds, kailangan ka namin dito sa World Cup. Will you fly with us going to China? Or will you stay there?
Well, obviously, that would be such a great honor once again, especially to represent the country in the world stage na hindi lang Asia qualifiers. But everything, I have to make sure na everything's well ironed out with both Ateneo and Gilas. But of course, with the opportunity, when the opportunity is there, why not, diba? Basta I just have to make sure na okay with the coaches and okay with, of course, my school. Kasi priority din yun since UAAP time. So, and it's also my last year.
Of course,
so, I just have to make sure that everything's
ironed out.
Well balanced.
Yeah. Okay, Thirds, there is one person who's really, really proud of what you have achieved. You've been achieving. Ba't kanya ka makatingin? We're not talking about anyone in your family. We're not talking about Bong Ravs or Tamosi or Danny or Manong. We're talking about your good friend, your very good friend from the Ateneo Lady Eagles, Bea De Leon. We asked BDL Thirds for a message to you right before your Gilas debut sa Qatar. Napanood mo ba yan? Kung hindi mo napanood, here's what she had to say.
Well, honestly, I'm so proud of him. He deserves this. I mean, we've all seen him throughout his UAAP career, and man, has that guy really, really earned this spot. So, good luck to him. He doesn't need it, but I'm sure he'll do great.
Ha? Ano sinasabi mo habang ano? Kinikilig ka ba nung narinig mo yan?
Hindi, I mean, sinabi niya rin sa akin na
Pinorward niya sa'yo yun, yung message, yung video.
sinabi niya pinagtripan mo daw siya, so...
Pinagtripan, hindi ah. Kinilig ka ba? No, what was your reaction nung ano mo yan? Kasi sabi niya, man, that guy has, di ba, gone a long way. She's so proud of you.
Well, we've been friends for a while, so...
Friends na ba? Friends?
Good friends, yeah, for a
Okay.
while. So, kumbaga, ganun na kami with each other. Talagang minomotivate lang namin yung isa't isa. And we just make sure na we try to stay competitive, even if... we try to make each other competitive with our
Yeah.
respective sports. So,
Nai-inspire niyo ang isa't isa.
yeah, as athletes.
Before we go on another break, 30. Ikaw naman, akala mo, hindi, Thirds, what's your message to Bea, your sister Dani, and the rest of the Ateneo Lady Eagles as they compete in the UAP Women's Volleyball Tournament?
Gusto ko lang sabihin na good luck sa inyo lahat. I know you guys worked so hard. I've seen you train, not just in Moro, but I see you running, I see you practicing in Blue Eagle. So, lahat ng hard work, alam kong binibigay niyo, you put in the hours. So, just make sure na pag sa laro, bigay niyo rin lahat. Do it for the school, do it for yourselves, and do it for one another. So, yun lang. Good luck sa inyo lahat. Dani, galingan mo. Love you, Dan.